So welcome everybody. It's our certificate for in youth work. We are on our final week of CHCDFV001. Usually in our final week, we will do some role plays. So that's what we're doing. Tonight we have Chelsea, we have Virginia, we have Katie, and we have Rabbit. And Rabbit, are you with us? If he slides in a little later, that's perfectly okay. So with this, there are 3 clients, and I've asked anyone who's doing their role play tonight to select one of those clients, and then I'm going to do a debrief, but I'm also going to share a document with the whole class, and I want you guys to be the ones who ask those 3 some questions rather than it be about me. So I want you to come at this from a line manager or a supervisor perspective. So tell me a little bit about what you'd like to do next with the client. I'll start you off. I'll do one, and then I'm going to give you my prompt document that I work with behind the scenes. And I want you to just take down a couple of questions, and then I'm going to open it up so that you can ask all 3 if I'm here but can't get my camera to work. Hi, Tony, that's all good. So if we only have 3 tonight, that's fine. I want to open it up so that you can ask them, what was it like when you were there? So I'll need you to have play the client for each other, if that would be okay. So who would like to begin? We have Virginia and we have Kate and we have Chelsea tonight.
I can go first.
So was that you, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Look at her. And Chelsea, which client did you choose?
Diane.
Diane, the first one. Great. And Virginia, who did you choose?
I had Diane too.
Yeah, great. It's the same role play, but you're completely different workers. We'll get a different perspective. Okay. And then Kate. No sound, Katie, sorry.
I chose Priyanka.
Okay.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Priyanka, the second one. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, a little bit different for each of them. Okay. Right, that's great. Can I ask before we start, did any of you go in and have a look at the role play resources in Discord and watch the 3rd person, Oliver, and that role play? Did you get a chance to do that?
So the link for Discord is no longer working on the portal.
Okay, so I'm going to put the link for you in chat before everybody goes.
Thank you.
Not a problem. And I'll, after everyone's done their role plays, I will get the link and get you to have a look. I'll also give you, I think I should be able to just give you the link to that role play, and I'll get someone in the breakout room to just copy that from chat, open it up, and then you can all have a look at it and watch that play out. Does that sound okay? Okay, great. So Chelsea's going to go first. Who would like to be Chelsea's Diana?
I can do that.
Virginia.
Yep.
So Chelsea and Virginia. So we want to have someone different for you, Virginia, because you're going to do Diana. Katie, would you be kind enough to be Virginia's Diana?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. It'll just mix it up a little bit. And so then we need someone to be Priyanka for Katie.
I can, unless you want someone totally different.
No, I'd be happy with that. Okay, so Chelsea's going to go first, and her client is going to be Diana. Virginia will go second. Her client also is going to be Diana, but Katie will play Diana there. And then Katie is going to do Priyanka and Chelsea is going to fill that role. So for the purpose of this, would I be able to ask those who aren't doing the role play to go off camera? You still be able to see everybody, but I just want to capture the people that are doing their role play. And I'm also going to go off camera as well. So perhaps then we've got Chelsea starting first. Katie, do you want to? Katie's gone off camera already, so that's fabulous. I'm going to go off camera, but questions, Chelsea, before we start?
Oh, ID, or you're all right?
No, we're good. Live classes. I know you're here. Nobody gets this link unless it went out to you and only you. So that's great. So the person who put that up, I'm sorry, I can't read your name. They're questions that we will be able to pick up later, but you at the back of my screen, you will see lso@hayderinstitute.edu.au. They are the only ones who can open up your units. They work in your porthole, they release it. You need to email them, give them your name that you are enrolled in, and please direct your question there. They are on roster until 7 p.m. every night, Monday to Friday. Okay, great. Over to our purpose that we have here. So Chelsea.
When can I press submit on my assessment? Do I have to wait until you send me a recording, or can I just?
No, tonight, what you'll do afterwards is that you'll send a professional email to me and say, hi, Vicky, thanks very much for giving me the opportunity to do my skills assessment tonight. Could I please have the evidence to go with this? So you don't need the recording, but you do need the document that I'm going to provide you. Okay, yeah, not a problem. So good question, and thanks for asking. You will get the recording, but you don't need it for your evidence because we're doing it in real time. Okay, right, let me go off camera for you. You have 15 minutes. Okay.
Just before we start, sorry.
Yes. No, you're right.
I just got a message from one of my managers wanting me to come in for an overnight shift tonight. Is this going to be sent to everyone, this recording?
Yes.
Okay, so I can leave and I won't miss out on anything.
Of course, yeah. This class wants classes recorded, so absolutely you will get a copy of this.
Okay, all good.
Yeah. All good.
Hi,
So
everyone, have a good role play.
thank you. That's wonderful. All right. So so away we go. All right. Over to you, Chelsea. Thank you.
Ready?
Ready when you are.
Hi, Dan. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm okay, Michelle. Thank you for seeing me in a short notice.
Hey, I just want to welcome you to First Access. I know it's a big move to acknowledge the strength that's taken you to come today. Before we get started and have our discussion, I just want to explain to you that everything we do talk about today will be private and confidential. Remains between us unless I feel there is risk of harm to you or someone around you. But yeah, everything we will talk about will remain private and confidential.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's not easy for me to be here. I just want to ask some question. I'm not ready just yet to do anything. I've been in a relationship for 10 years, and Sam is it's got a very strong personality. It's full of passion and drive, and that's what I like about him. But he always been emotional abusive. At first, I didn't realize that his joke. I thought it was playful, and but then after a few years, I realized that it was belting me, and you know, I try to control me, my emotional, and but you know, when finally I'm sorry, I'm just
Take your time. Take your time. It's fine. It's fine. So it sounds like it's been going on for quite a while.
yeah, yeah, and we do have two children, and you know, I don't want them to see his father do these things to me. But yeah, I'm very like I'm bruised now, and my shoulder really hurts. I don't want to go to my doctor. You know, I just he's a family doctor, and I don't want him to find out that I've been talking to someone. So, and I'm not ready to leave him just yet. I'm just here to ask you some support, and what can I do? What you know, what does it look like?
Yeah. Look, today doesn't have to mean anything. It can just mean the first step of, finding out what's available, what's around. Before we start, I just want to explain what a client assessment is, and that's pretty much what we'll be doing today. So I was going to sit with you and identify some of your needs and risk and any goals you might have to ensure your safety and stuff. That's pretty much what we'll do today. So you can go back and think about it when you're ready, and so forth. And then if you decide to go ahead with anything, we'll take that assessment and turn it into more of a case management type thing, and we can find services that are best suited to your needs. Would you like to go over some of the services that are available and what they're looking for?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I feel sometimes it's my fault. You know, I found a great job. You know, I'm having a career, and he's been drinking. You know, it tells me that he's lonely, he misses me.
Yeah.
So I just feel maybe it's my fault that I'm not home with him.
Mm. Look, all these feelings are very natural. Someone going through all of this, it's not okay. You shouldn't have to feel like that, but I understand why you would feel like that, okay? Um, my question is, would you like ongoing support from here? Or would you like just to go have some services told to you and for you to be able to reflect on?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind to go and see maybe some services so I can. I want to know what's up there. Like I'm happy to come to and talk to you, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I'm so confused. I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. Like I know that I want to protect my children. Um, I want to give the best to my kids, and but I can't take this anymore. I really can't. So yeah, probably find out what's up there, what my rights are, and what can I do to help myself, my kids,
Yeah.
and the potential to help him too.
Well, before you mentioned you didn't want to visit your family doctor, is that correct?
Yeah, my shoulder's really killing me at the moment. You know, it just pushed me, and I think you know, I landed not on my shoulder, and but I don't want to see my doctor because, like I said to you, he's a family doctor and he goes there too, and you know, I don't want to. I'm just scared. I'm just scared. I don't want no one to know anything at the moment.
And that's totally okay. Reason I ask is we actually have a doctor here. Well, not here, but someone we often refer clients to. He's quite used to dealing with people in the same situation.
Okay.
His name's Dr. Fitzroy. He's very good. We can talk about that a bit more later, but I would like, and obviously you would like, some medical attention. So if you didn't want a family doctor, I try and understand. That's when you know the options there.
Yeah, all right. I like that. I like to go and see him. Yes, please.
A bit more about services that that could help is places like the Orange Door. Have you heard of them?
Briefly, on the radio sometime. Yes.
Ready, we can talk a bit more about them, or there's even we can help with legal services, counselling, help with police tensions like intervention orders when you're ready.
Yeah.
This is nothing that you have to like yes or no today. Just want to let you know that these things are out there to help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like some information about it so I can somehow read it and go through things. Yep.
Emailing you some stuff, is that a safe way to get information to you? Probably not.
I do have a work emails, probably is my personal email. So yeah, maybe that would be much safer. I know no one go in my emails unless I get my password, but yeah, I can give you that.
Before you leave today, I'll grab that off you and I'll be able to forward some information on the services that we can help you get linked into if you like.
That'd be good.
Um, Also, I just wanted to touch base with you about a safety plan. Have you heard of one of them before or know anything about it?
What is it?
So, a safety plan helps in the preparation of a safe exit out of situations like yours. Can help reduce the risk of harm, helps you feel more ready, knows can get you to feel more control of the situation, if that makes just know what your resources are, what to do. Even having the physical actual plan with you handy is helpful.
Okay.
Nothing we have to do yes or no today, but I did gather some paperwork with me today in case you want to just start one or have a look at one.
Well, we can do something, but I don't want to do nothing just yet. I'm not.
Even know what's available to you, and
Okay.
there's nothing set in stone today.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. And from the phone call we had earlier, you didn't want to use your known last name, did you?
No. No.
You wanted to use your maiden name?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Fine, we can do that. Just wanted to go through like emergency contacts with you. Do you have someone that could be an emergency contact?
Well, I got my sister. The kids I just sent my kids with my sister. They're living in another town. So, like I said, I didn't want my kids to see me this way.
Yeah.
So I just told them my sister. So, yeah, my sister would be probably one of them, and my father, my dad too. But that potentially, I don't know what he would do if I leave. If it goes to my sister and or my dad. So, it's something that I can do when I decide to leave quickly, but not something that I wanted to do for a long term.
Yeah. So they're currently safe with your sister and father, did
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah, and my dad, yes.
Good. So we can sit down and do a little bit of this now, or just before you leave, I can go through it with you, and if that's okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you said the children are safe. That was going to be my next concern. Obviously,
Yeah.
Uh,
He never lend a hand to the kids, so the kids are safe.
okay, very good. Sorry. Yeah, other than that, are you comfortable with everything today? Do you have enough information to go home with?
Well, yeah, I had Well, if you tell me there is some sites that I can actually look into I probably wouldn't mind some legal advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm entitled to, and potentially, like my fear is that if I leave, it will come and chase the kids and take the kids. That's what my fear is.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind find some protection for the kids. And you know what my rights gonna be.
Yeah. Look, today is definitely a step in the right direction for all of that. Would you want to come back and say a couple of weeks once you've read all the information I've sent over to you, what's available, and we can talk about next steps then and see if you want to implement this safety plan that we've done up together.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, it's all in your time. We're just
Yeah.
here to support you, okay?
All right. Yeah, I might do that. So that way, if I got any question that you know, that I'm not 100% sure, if you can answer it for me, that'd be great.
Yeah. So between now and then, if you've got any questions, you can call me.
Okay.
That you called today.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I look forward to seeing you again.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Michelle. I appreciate your time with me.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Perfect timing. Well done. That's great. Thank you.
I got art.
Yeah.
It's
Do you want to
okay.
share?
I was gonna make sure it was okay to refer her to the doctor.
She wanted to be referred to the doctor.
Yeah, I was just gonna I was gonna get her consent to do the referral, but I forgot to add
That's
that.
okay. That's the discussing it is fine. The adding that to your written work, upon reflection, sometimes we're going to think of something else afterwards. When a client leaves, normally you would be sitting in this space for 45 minutes. With your client, not 15. So you did really well. So I wanted the engagement. The first 5 things that I mark you on are about your privacy, confidentiality, identifying what the needs are. There was at least 60% of your client talking, 40% you. Perfect textbook role play. Well done.
Thank
So,
you.
Lockie, did you have a question that you wanted to run past the guys?
I was just going to give some feedback, to be honest.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Chelsea, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought active listening was very good. Reassuring her was also on my list. I just wrote a few things down while you were doing it. So, and services and information was very good. I thought never changing your tone was also a positive as well. You always kept the same tone going, so that was good. Letting her speak was another good one, and not butting in or anything, letting her have her say and everything. Offering support within first access was good. Didn't force anything on her and always gave her the option as well. I thought was good. And also I thought safe way to contact her as well, asking her about email and stuff like that. The only one I had was just maybe asking how she felt about not having the kids at home and stuff like that. That was probably the only one I would have thrown in there.
That's a good point. Thank you.
No worries.
Oh, great. Thank you. So we might go over to Virginia to do Diana. When we're all finished, I will get you to give your own feedback as well. So Chelsea, you can sit this one out, and Virginia and Katie are going to sit in this space. And I have 6:40. So you've got 15 minutes. And Virginia, you are the worker, and Katie, you are Diana. Away you go.
Beautiful. Ready?
Yep.
Hi, Diana. Thank you for meeting me. Please come on in. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
So, what can I do for you? What can I help you with?
Oh, I'm dealing with a pretty abusive relationship at the moment. I didn't actually realize it was abusive until he really hurt me.
Are you hurt now?
I've got a bit of a sore back, but Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I probably do need to see a doctor,
Okay. Yeah.
but I can't go to my doctor.
That's okay. That's not a problem at all. Diana said we got a very good doctor. His name is sorry, Dr. Adam Fitzroy, and he's nearby in a clinic in Montague Road Family Practice. If you're not comfortable to go and see your own doctor, this doctor is very good. Is very private, and you know, he'd be happy to see you. So my concern is you're saved. You know, you're safe here with me, and I wanna just to let you know that whatever been gonna tell me is very confidential and private, and you know, I will not share it with anyone unless I feel that there is a risk for yourself and for your children. Are you okay with all the information?
Yep.
Just tell me a little bit more what's going on at home, Diana.
It started off with him all being jokes and, you know, playful and stuff, and then
Okay.
it got really physical. And I still kind of laughed it off and pushed it to the side and just went, oh, maybe he's just gotten a bit rough. But it wasn't until he got really rough with me, and I'd actually spoken to a friend about it, and she's like, no, that's not right.
No, of
That's
course.
not being playful.
Yep.
That's being abusive. So I'm worried for my safety, not for my safety, or maybe, but I can't keep staying in this sort of situation forever because I have to think of my kids.
Absolutely. I mean, you got the right to be safe. Your kids got the right to be safe. It's not right what's going on at home, you know, Diana. How's the children at the moment?
They're okay.
Okay.
They're staying with their grandma,
Yeah,
so they're okay.
beautiful. So what can I help you with? Like, I'm here to support you. So what about if I can give you some information, and I got it here. Do you ever heard of it about the orange door?
Yes,
Okay.
I have heard of it.
Have you ever went on the website and have a look at it? No. Okay. So so the orange door is a free service, a support for your family, a connection to service to help you, such as parenting, support group. It's got service for children. It's got a lot of things. It's got financial stuff, legal advice, that you probably might want to get into it. Then I got there's always a 1-800 respect. That's another entity that you can look at it. And of course, Diana is always 000 to call the police any time that you think that you are in danger. That's a number that you can actually call straight away. You know, I know that you are not wanting to go ahead right now to do, you know, you would just some information, and that's fine. But you know, I just want to let you know that it's all okay what's going on, and I'm gonna go to your own pace. I'm here to support you 100% in anything you need. Would be all right for you for me to do a referral to go and see the doctor?
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever thought about to do a safety plan?
What's that?
Okay, so a safety plan is pretty much something for yourself to get ready at the, you know, in that moment that you want to just pick up and leave. Okay.
Okay.
So I got some paperwork here that we can go through together. It doesn't have to be today, Diana. can be next time like I would love to see you again if you're happy with that.
Yeah.
And we can put it down. Do you have a trust person that you can go to?
Yes, but I don't think I'd want to go to family because he knows where all my family live. So I think I'd
course.
probably want to go to a work colleague's house where he doesn't know where they
Okay. So again, talking about the safety plan is a document, important document. Your bank account, your your title of the house, all this important document. Are you able to? You got access on that document?
No, not really.
Okay, are you able to get access and do a copy? All these little things, like we can put it down, all these emergency numbers, all these things that you will need, to be in control. You gotta think about things for the kids too, yeah? So, like I said, I got this safety plan in my hand now. I don't want to do it right now. I think I've been giving you a lot of information that you need to process. But I think I would like for you maybe next time we get together to do it together, so
Okay.
that way, you got everything you need for you and for your children, if you need to leave in very quickly. How does it sound, all this information that I've been giving you?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Okay.
So, like, if he does anything like he did a couple of days ago, where he came home and he was absolutely drunk.
Okay.
He'd been taking drugs and stuff, and he started shoving and pushing me and was screaming at me, and my kids got woken up and they were crying and they were absolutely terrified.
Really sorry, Diane.
So if something like that happens again,
Yeah.
is that when we would get the safety plan happening?
Well, I think we should do this safety plan soon. Okay. So that you can gather all your things together. How does it look like for you to leave home and have nothing with you? What you need things for your kids. Like I said, important phone numbers. You're on your own car. We have to make sure that you got your spare key, your phone charger, make sure that your car is always full of petrol. All these little things that I know that it's going to be very hard for you to think about it. But that's why I'm here. I'm here for you to help you out, and we can do all this together. And sometimes put it in writing and see it. And that's what you need to think about it. So what do I need for my kids? What do I need for myself?
So if I don't have access to certain documents because he has stuff in a safe,
Okay.
Would you be able to like point me in the right direction to get
Yes,
those
absolutely.
documents
Absolutely.
again?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a lot of financial help for you. There is a housing help for you. So we can find, or I can find all that information for you, ready for you to read it, and make a decision. Just because you can't get through the document, it doesn't mean nothing. Okay, so the financial advisor can be able to help you out in all this space. So whatever you can grab, whatever you can think about, that you need, that's your safety plan. Start thinking about it. Where would you like to put that? Let's say, is that how we call that is, a go bag. Where would you want to put it, the bag? Is a place at home that you can actually go and grab it? Would you leave it to your sister? I saw in your when you called that you actually have a different surname. That's your middle name.
Yeah.
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 And
Can I use that name?
yes.
Yeah.
And I saw that you put your dad as emergency number 2.
Yeah.
So is it something that that you would just go to your father to, you know, if you just to walk out tonight, would you go to dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I would go to dad.
So is it something that maybe start getting things ready and take it to your dad would be something that you can do?
Yeah, I suppose I could. I could start doing it like
Okay.
little bits and pieces throughout the week.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So that's what we do as a safety plan. You know, so you know, I'm happy for us to do it now if you like, or I'm happy if, you know, we can see the next time and you know, we can get together next time and we can do it together.
Yeah. I suppose we could do a little bit.
Yeah, we can do a little bit, definitely. I mean, I'm already just putting some notes down,
Okay.
whatever you tell me, so we can do that. I think that the important thing is for you now to actually see Dr. Adam Fitzroy, because you know, if you say that your back is a little bit sore, it'd be good that the doctor will see you. You know, and again, Diana, I want you to know that you know, is safe to go to him. Is very discreet. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All righty. So I'll put it down these couple of things. And why don't we make a day that suit you to see us each other next week?
Yep.
You got my number. You can call me anytime if you need to. I give you this pamphlet with you so you can take it.
Thank
Give
you.
it a read. Go online. Make a phone call. Have a chat with them. And in the meantime, I will get all my information for you. You know, legal advice, what are, you know, things that housing, and then we can get together next week and discuss it and talk about it a little bit more.
Thank you. I would like that.
Beautiful. All right, Diana, look after yourself, please, and just remember what I would just tell you before about these pamphlets. And if you're in danger, just call the police straight away. Okay.
Thank you. I will. Hopefully,
Right.
I won't need to, but thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Perfect timing. Excellent. Who'd like to jump in and give some feedback?
I think it went well.
I
Well done.
couldn't find the name of the doctor.
I
I said, where did I write it?
Okay, what went well?
think just the amount of information that was given, and also not wanting to bombard her, but having enough information to, you know, go home and sit with. And to come prepared next time with how she'd want to, you know, next tackle things if there was any progress, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She was ready to continue on. I felt like she was heard. And she understood what you were saying, as in like she was comprehending it all. So it was well delivered. Yeah, very good.
Lockie, you want to add something there?
I thought that was very good. Yeah. Along the lines, I've wrote a few things down, reassuring her, active listening, her rights. I thought you explained that as well about her rights and stuff like that at the start of what her rights are. So thought you did that well. And also about the kids as well. So yeah, very well done.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Yeah, good.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. Well, let's jump in and work with Katie. Katie's going to have Chelsea play Priyanka, and Hugh is going to jump in as well tonight. So we'll have our 4 if Rabbit's not able to be here. It's good. I liked how it was the same scenario, but 2 completely different styles of workers as well. There's more than one way to get there. And I also want to let you know that you're doing really well in this space with your micro skills, that engagement, the listening, giving them time to be able to process what you're saying, reading where they're up to, staying calm and regulated in your own space. this as well. These can be very triggering conversations. And so I think you did very well. So
Thank you.
good. Okay, so yep, we'll jump straight in and have Katie, and Chelsea's going to be Priyanka.
Cool.
All right. Awesome. I think mine's meant to go for about 10 minutes, so it'll be a little bit shorter than the other two.
Perfect.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Right. All right. Hi, Priyanka. How are you today?
Hi, Michelle. I'm doing a lot better today, actually. Feeling,
That's amazing to hear.
yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Like how we start every session off.
Yeah.
Anything that you do say or share with me is private and confidential. I will not disclose that to anyone unless I feel that you or someone else is in danger, or if you give me or if you sign the document saying that I can share your information. Is that okay?
Yeah. All
Yeah. All right. Perfect. So, what's been happening lately?
Well, obviously, from our past, meetings, we're struggling a lot with my husband,
Yeah.
spending a lot more time with my auntie. So I don't know, I just feel more in control right now of my situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Husband's actually out of town at the moment, and before he left, he was verbally abusive, and it's just given me more motive to leave. I'm so over it. I'm ready to, do the next step and whatever that looks like to get
Yeah.
the situation. I'm just so done with it. Had enough.
Yeah. Look, it's not nice. You shouldn't have to be dealing with that.
Yeah.
So for us, for the next step, I would recommend doing a safety plan.
Okay.
Now, I know that we have touched on the safety plan in our previous session,
Yeah.
but that wasn't on the cards then.
Yeah, I think the tables have turned a bit now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, not a problem. So,
Can you just tell me a bit more about the safety plan?
yeah, absolutely. So what the safety plan is we document some information about you, about your trusted person that you would like to put down as a contact for you. In the plan, we'll put down exactly what you're going to need when you leave.
Okay.
Okay, so all of your documents that you're going to need, a little bit of cash if you've got it, phones, numbers of important people that you can call, services. So there's some questions here in the safety plan. For the emergency contact, I know you've spoken about Auntie Jasmine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like her to, I can just jot down a little bit of information now and then we can progress next time.
Yeah.
But would you put Auntie Jasmine down as your emergency contact again?
Yeah, she's about all I've got at the moment. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if something did happen, would you feel comfortable in contacting the police? Or would you be more comfortable in contacting Auntie Jasmine and getting her to maybe be there with you when you ring them?
Depending on the situation, I'm thinking of living pretty soon while he's out of town.
Okay, so within the next couple of days.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
I do want police to help in the way of keeping him away from me, but I'm
Yeah.
cool enough to ring if I needed. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So if you want the police to keep him away from you, then you would probably have to attend the police station and put in an AVO against him so that he cannot come anywhere near you.
Yeah.
Now, if this is going to happen within the next couple of days while he's away, I think we should probably run through the safety plan now so that you have it in your person, and you know exactly, or you've got a plan in front of you so you can see what you have to do next. Is
Okay.
that okay?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, because I know he's away, but I don't know when he's due home. So if I can have this,
Okay.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. So, your phone that you've got, does he have access to that?
Yeah, he's got control of everything. There's not much
Okay.
access to.
Okay. Can we come up with a code word maybe that you can use or send text to your Auntie Jasmine, that code word, and then she knows that
Yeah,
it's time to leave?
yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Or do I just organize that with her?
No, if you think you know it, it's up to you. You can let me know and I can write it down on the plan, or you can just let her know.
Yeah, I'll just let her know. That's okay.
Okay. All right. Now, do you have a car?
Been using public transport, but
Okay.
Auntie does have a car.
Yep. No, that's fine. So, in that scenario, then what we will do is we need to organise or figure out when the public transport leaves.
Yeah.
We don't want you to go, all right, I'm leaving now, but public transport doesn't leave for another hour,
Okay.
and kind of, yeah,
All
get you
right.
stuck in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have a bag that you can put all of your stuff in, and maybe keep it in a safe place for the time being,
Yeah. Yeah.
until you're ready to leave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So a few things that you might look at needing within the next couple of days. One of the main ones would probably be a passport or birth certificate,
Okay.
your Medicare card, maybe a little bit of cash. I know that you sort of went about cash. We have financial services that can help you out
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. Give me a little bit of money.
Okay.
I could put that in there. I do have a little bit that I could use.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Are you on? You don't need to tell me, but if you need any medication, or need to fill any scripts,
Yeah.
that would probably be a good idea so that you can take them with you.
Okay.
All right. So for you in this time, what I might do is I've got pamphlets for like Centrelink that have some information in there on services that they provide. We've got counselling services here at First Access. Obviously financial services. Now, where do you think you might stay when you do leave?
Look, I'd probably go to my auntie's house, but he knows where that is, so I don't think staying there for too long would be ideal.
Okay. So there's housing services that we can put you in touch with as well,
Okay.
to try and get that ball rolling for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, police would be your number one priority to call them straight away. Yeah, so there's a few other other services that you can contact, but I think the ones that I've given you today would more or less be your immediate contacts that you need.
Yeah. All right. So I'll look into doing the RVO and stuff. Should I do that before I leave and have it in place?
Well, if he's overseas, it probably wouldn't hurt to do it before you leave. Even if you went down to the police station and said, I'm leaving a very violent household. Could I please place an AVO out against my husband, because I know that he's going to be very angry when he finds out, and explain how he's, violent to you or abusive to you. And they'll be able to, help you out with that one. At least that way, when you do go, you know that that's already done. So if he does come to Auntie Jasmine's house, then the police will be there.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Is there any?
Feeling all right about that?
Yeah, I'm feeling it needs to be done. I think it's having a bit more reassurance on how to do it. It's been very useful.
Yeah. Look, you're handling it really well. You're really brave, and I know it's such a big step.
Yeah.
And it's one that only you can make.
Yeah.
But we will be here to support you the whole way through it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I'll get that bag, get that together and ready.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else that you
No,
want
I'm
to have a chat about?
feeling pretty good. That's all I needed to know. I guess when we meet again, we'll yeah, hopefully I'll be gone.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll safely
safe.
get to your Auntie Jasmine's. Now, I know we normally meet up every fortnight.
Mm.
Do you want to keep it as a fortnight, or would you like to come in next week
I think
just to touch base and go through all those services?
I think I'll come in next week and just
Okay.
yeah, that'd be good. Thank you very much.
No, that's all right. Not a problem. Well, take care. Please stay safe.
Yeah.
You have my number. If you need anything, just give me a call. But like I said before, your first port of contact will be the police, because they will be the ones that will be able to help you immediately and keep you safe, okay?
No worries. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Well done. Can I get someone to provide feedback? And I think Lockie should come back in again and be our main feedback person, because we're going to get it framed in a particular way. But Virginia, would you like to give some feedback here?
Oh, look, they were amazing, both of them. I like Chelsea laughing. No, Katie done really well. She was very informative, very calm, and I think she just got touched every single point. So well done, ladies. Well done, Katie.
Thank you very much. It's very nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah,
Like
you're always nervous. You've done so well.
I'm stressing.
Very
on the outside, you looked very calm, Katie.
Well, that's good, because I was not.
No, well, you did well. Yeah. So let's hand it over to Lockie, because I really like how he's framing his feedback at the moment as well.
Okay, I've done myself in here, haven't I? Confidentiality and rights at the start were very good. And I thought you letting the client run the session from the start was good as well. The way you frame your questions right from the start was letting her run the session, and then you took over once you had to get to the safety plan and everything like that. So I thought that was very good. I thought you explained the safety plan really well. I thought that come across quite good. Very supportive as well, and offering things like that. Probably the one thing is a little bit of feedback on just reassuring her about that was a lot of information, and maybe like handing over a piece of paper for that safety plan bag or something like that. That was probably the only thing that I personally would have done, because that's a lot of things to remember without.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be the only thing.
All right. Thank you.
Well done. Good work.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you, Lockie. Okay, so we've got Hugh. Here he is. That's great. Hugh, which client did you want to do?
I also was looking at Diana. So
yeah, great. No, that's terrific. The story isn't the thing that's most important. It's about your micro skills. Katie, you've played Diana, haven't you? Yeah. Who hasn't played Diana out of the three of you? Chelsea, you haven't?
No.
Would you play Diana for Hugh?
I certainly will.
Fabulous. That's
Thank you.
great. All right, 15 minutes just relax into it, Hugh, and
Yeah.
ready when you are ready.
Okay, great. Okay. So hi Diana, thank you for coming in today.
Yes, no worries. Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling today?
All over the place. I just don't know what to do next. Everything's just been way too much to handle.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I just want to make sure that you know that here today, my primary duty of care is to you, and that anything we talk about is, private and confidential. So feel free to express anything you need to with me. You know that it won't go outside these walls, of course, unless there's a danger to yourself or someone else, or I get consent from you. But just you can feel confident that everything's confidential.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
All right. I will be taking some notes though. That's just for me. No one else will see these, but it's just for me to kind of keep track of what's going on. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. All good.
Okay, great. So it's a brave step of you coming in today. You said everything's a bit all over the place. Did you want to just tell me a bit about what's going on?
Yeah, so I've been in a marriage for 10 years now. Sam is my partner's name. Um, he's very passionate and full of drive, and totally love that about him, but he's always been very emotionally abusive. Well, at first he was. I didn't realize how bad it was. Like his jokes were funny and all of that, but then it got really bad. Belittling me, trying to like control me. Um, yeah, I had enough one day and tried to express how I felt in these situations, and we got really angry, and yeah, I left for a few days and come back, but when I came back, it got physical. Um, yeah, so that was about 10 years ago
Okay.
it all really started.
Okay, yeah. So it's been going on for quite some time then. And you say it's been physical. Are you hurt at the moment?
Yeah, well, you can probably see I'm covered in bruises. I've got an injury.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, 2 days ago he came home from a party, was really drunk and probably high. Um, Started shouting at me, throwing things around the house, throwing things at me, hitting me. That's where all these bruises have come from.
yeah,
Um, yeah, when I tried to question him, he just got worse and worse. Um,
okay. Yeah. And so have you been able to access some medical attention for this or
oh God, I don't want to go to my family doctor. I don't want any risk of Sam finding out or just the doctor in general because he's our family doctor. I'm pretty ashamed of going.
okay. Well, at First Access here, we do have someone we work with who's a local doctor. His name's Dr. Adam Fitzroy. He works at a nearby clinic, at a family practice. So, if you'd like, we can organize a referral for you to go there. I can assure you it would be confidential again. I understand that you've been using your maiden last name, and we can keep it that way. So that, yeah, obviously your partner would have no access to that, and we can get a referral for that if you'd like. Was that something you'd like to do?
Yeah, I think yeah, probably should. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think yeah, that would probably be a good idea just because if you need medical attention, you don't want that to kind of linger on and get worse. So if we can sort that out for you, then I think that'd be good.
Yeah, well, I've got kids at home, so I really need to, yeah, look after myself as well.
Yeah, okay. So the kids are at home at the moment. Are they safe or
Um, I've actually taken them to my father's house and my sister's there, so they're not home at the moment.
okay.
Yeah, I do need to, start doing things to help me, to help them out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Um, in terms of that, so that's great they're safe. How do you feel about that? Are you okay with them being there now, or Is that extra stress on you?
I just miss him so much, and I just feel like the worst mum for letting it get to this point. Yeah, I just don't know what I mean by chaos, other than them stuff, obviously, the children not being at home.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, I mean, you should know that this is not your fault, and this is not because you're a bad mum. This is, abuse is done by the abuser, and it's not instigated by you. So, I just want to reassure you that you should know that please don't put the blame on yourself. And now our priority is just to keep you safe and keep them safe. Um, so, in terms of moving forward in what we can offer you, maybe did you want to like, are there other services maybe I could help you with? We have
Well,
quite a few services through First Access.
it's all very new to me.
Yeah.
I came here for help, but what help that is, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. Yeah. I mean, just a few that off the, a few I can think of. One of them's Orange Door. Have you heard of that before?
Briefly, yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, that's a kind of a something you can access that has it's a free service, and it has different services and advice that you can access through there, such as like legal advice and family service advices. So that's something you can actually access yourself if you wanted to do some more research. It's a go-to. If you're feeling lost and a bit confused, something you can kind of turn to.
That just,
Um,
or is that
Pardon, sorry?
online or
Yes, you can access it online, yeah.
yeah.
Um, you can also call 1-800-RESPECT. That's always available to you. And of course, if things are a bit dire, if things are getting worse and you're feeling unsafe in your current situation, you can always call the police at any time. But hopefully it doesn't get to that point. So I was just thinking maybe. Have you ever heard of a safety plan before?
No, no, I haven't
Okay, so
that.
so so a safety plan is basically a document that we can um, put together like together, and it can kind of help guide you if things get worse and there's a kind of time of crisis. It can kind of have a lot of information that we've put together already, so you can turn to that quickly. Things like your emergency contacts, any services that are around you, where you might go, things like that. So it's really just a document that you can turn to in a time of crisis. Um, would you like to maybe start doing one of those today? Um,
I'm not really ready yet to do anything. I'm just here to get information.
of course, yeah, no problem. Yeah, well, maybe we can, if you feel comfortable coming back and talking to us again after today, which I think would be a good idea. I feel it'd be great to see you again. After some time, after you've considered it, if you feel like that's something you'd like to do, we can do that. But this is all on your terms here, so nothing is being forced upon you at all. So you can consider that.
Okay, well, I might go home and just, look into Orange Door and some of the other things you suggested. And yeah, I'd like to come back in a couple of weeks or so and talk more about the safety plan and stuff like that once I've wrapped my head around the situation a bit more.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And are the kids going to stay where they are now for some time, or
Yeah, my dad and my sister are prepared to have them for a while, until things settle down at home. Obviously, it's not safe for them to be at home.
yeah?
Yeah.
And if something were to happen at home again, do you feel like you would be safe to go there as well?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think he'd come to my father's. That's why I feel safe leaving my kids there.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely my dad's somewhere I'd go if I needed to leave. Yeah.
Okay, great. that's great. You feel like you have a safe place. So
Yeah.
okay, well, maybe if you'd like now, I can just organize some kind of. Do you feel comfortable taking some resources, some printout resources home, or would you worry about that?
I'd rather not have any evidence that I've even
Yeah.
seeked help. So I do have like work email. You can forward stuff to me.
Okay, great.
That.
Okay, great. Well, I'll get that. And if you'd like, I can send through some extra resources. A lot of, at First Access, we have quite a few different resources for like legal advice, things like that. So maybe, because it's quite a lot of information, maybe I can send them through and you can kind of go through them in your own time.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, if, like you said, if you want to come back in maybe 2 weeks, we can kind of move forward in whatever you feel like is the best move for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Sounds good. Thank.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, I mean, for today, is there anything else you have questions about, or?
I think I've got what I came for. Just a bit of reassurance that I can do this safely and what's
Absolutely.
there. So look forward to
There's a
seeing.
lot of support. There's a lot of support here for you, and we're here all the time. Um, as you called today, you can call anytime you need. So yeah, just make sure that you keep yourself safe. That's the priority, and your kids. And just remember that this isn't your fault, and there's always people that can help you.
All right. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Okay, thank you again for coming in, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Perfect timing. That was great. So I'll get some external feedback first, then I'm going to come back to our 4 and get some self-reflection. Katie, would you like to give Hugh some feedback?
Yeah, sure. I would absolutely come and see you, Hugh. You covered everything brilliantly. You're very calm and softly spoken, and it just feels comfortable.
Thank you.
So well done.
Lockie, over to you.
All right. Very well done, you. I thought the duty of care at the start was good. I don't think anyone else had used that before, so duty of care was good. Also liked how you let the client know that you were note taking as well. Thought that was awesome. The information you gave was good. Open-ended questions. Thought that was awesome. Active listening, and I thought I definitely noticed, and this goes to what Katie was saying as well, your calm nature as well. And just the way you controlled yourself and kept the same tone after hearing about the physical violence, because I know that can be hard to hear, even being the counsellor or the youth worker or something, and you kept the same tone, and the client would, yeah, love that. And just reassuring her, gave her the choice, and also asking about the kids as well. So, and I couldn't find any faults, so well done.
Thanks, mate.
Well done. So it's a lot of positive reinforcement in that as well, Hugh. Just reiterating again, I think it is a different perspective for a female to be sitting in the chair and have a male worker, and vice versa. If a male came in and they were sitting in that chair as well, wanting someone to hear them, acknowledge them and do that respectfully. So I'll give my feedback on everybody, what I think they did well. But what I would like is to hear from the 4 of you how you think you went. Just unpack it a little bit. What was it like for you as the worker? And what was it like for you sitting in the chair for somebody else? So Hugh, we might start with you because you've just come out of that space. How did that feel for you in there, and your connection with Chelsea?
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well. I feel like I benefited from seeing other people, which is always helpful. But I feel like, yeah, I felt comfortable in like remaining calm. I feel like as I was getting through it, I was noticing that I was speaking a lot, so I was a little bit worried about not letting Chelsea speak enough, but yeah, I thought in general it went quite well, and I think I feel quite comfortable letting there be space and things like that. So yeah, thought it was okay.
That's great. Chelsea, how did it feel being the worker and sitting in the chair?
I felt very heard and understood. From a personal aspect, I've kind of felt like not triggered. Like maybe yeah, triggered could be the word because yeah, just part anyway. It felt like very real and in the moment, so it was good.
Yeah.
I liked the touching base on the duty of care and all of that. That really triggered what I could have done. But yeah, I think went well. And as Katie said, I'd see you in the real world for as a counsellor.
That's great. So it's you sitting in the chair and you were wanting to get pulled out of that space and have your worker bring you out. I definitely can say to you, I could sense that in that conversation. There was a real lean in to that. It was very authentic. So, so as a worker, first of all, I want to do a check-in. Are you okay?
Yeah, it got a little bit triggering, a little part. It's just reflecting on real life stuff, but I'm okay.
Yeah, that's good. Just want to check.
Mhm.
So you as the worker, also again, it is about safe language. I think you did bring that into that space for you as a client. But when you were in that role as a worker, what was that like for you?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that, I was offering the best supports and giving Diane the time to think about the opportunity or not the choices she has and she support and just how brave it was for her to come in today
Yeah,
and really discuss what had been happening and to ensure that she was leaving with confidence that there is a way out. And I hope she felt that.
yeah. I could hear the strength-based approach that you were passing on to your client as well, like reinforcing the things that she was doing really well, being very respectful in that space of not rushing, not trying to fix anything too quickly. I thought your language was very respectful and appropriate. It had that trauma-informed approach, which I was looking for as well. So yeah, that's great. Virginia, how did it feel for you sitting in the chair as a client and for you as the worker?
So for me as a worker, I think you sort of get, especially now we're doing role play, you go in your head what are you gonna say, but then you change completely. So is very unpredictable when you're actually doing with a client, and especially with all of you, when you do with a partner, you sort of say, oh, you need to say this and this and that. But when you're doing like that, you don't know. Like I didn't know what Kathy was going to ask me or say. So, so I think I done okay. Keep myself really on track, even if I wanted to scream to her, just leave. But I think I think I sort of I think I done all right. I think I wouldn't. There is a couple of things that I would have done differently.
Reflection. Yeah.
Probably, I think I repeated a few times about the safety plan and that how to like document things like that. I think I should have maybe say a little bit less than that. As a client, I felt very comfortable. She was asking questions that I want her to ask me. And yeah, I felt like I could actually talk to her calmly, and I was there to find out a little bit more about what can I do, and she actually gave me positive things, and you know, once we actually finished, I said, oh, okay, we can do this now, without even like, I'm just playing, I'm just having role play, you know. So yeah, no.
Yep. And I appreciate that. I do want to say I felt that you didn't repeat about the safety plan, because that might be familiar for us, but it could be the very first time that somebody else hears that. And
Yes.
it's very important that we give people time to process it. It's a whole new language. So I don't think that you did that too much. I think you bedded that down, just so that it was a new word, a new term, a new action as well. And I thought that you gave the client space to process that information and sit with that without any pressure. Sometimes we need to hear that, have some space, and then reinforce that again as well. So if it had been too much, I would give you that feedback, Virginia. But I'm very mindful that we know what we're going to say, and that was a great self-reflection that you had. It is good that we know that about ourselves, but it's for the client. We are scripted. We do want to make sure that we want to remember the key important points, that people can only absorb about 3 things in any given connection that we have with them. And if we overwhelm, or if we say there's about 7 steps that we can take, but today this is what it is, and working on the safety plan, that was a good place to start, because it said options when you're ready, and it's their plan. And the go bag, I loved that you brought that in. That's an action. When people feel that they can take action in their own time, that is where that struggle is in the decision-making process. They can make the decision to stay, or they can make the decision to go. The safety plan and the go bag is no pressure. That's just a plan that I can use it. And there's a lot of relief in having a plan, feeling like you do have options, that you are not helpless, that it's not hopeless, and they're not alone. And they are all our triaging around prevention of suicide. So I think you did that well. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
from a practitioner's perspective. Everybody was doing a different one, so that was great. Katie, tell us what it felt like sitting in the chair and being the worker, in any order you're most comfortable.
So I was extremely comfortable sitting in the chair, being the client with Virginia. I was confident that any information that was available to me, she was giving to me. Definitely very, very confident. Going through the role play as the client, rather than me being the worker. Like, I was stressing big time. And I think next time, I think it's important, like, I'm going to have to let the client know that I'm actually going to be taking notes for them. And I think in Hugh's, where he said it's his duty of care, I think I'll probably adopt that into my role plays coming up. But yeah, it was very, very stressful for me.
That's great. And for you as the worker?
Yeah, stressful.
Stressful.
Not like every day, like I do this every day with kids.
Okay, which is the stressful bit?
Just having people watching me.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
That's the stressful part.
Yeah. So what do you do every day, Katie? Are people watching you?
No, because I work in a grade 3 to year 12 school. So I am the wellbeing worker there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more or less just me and kids having these conversations every day. But I know I hate being on camera, but
Yes.
the majority of my sessions are actually via Zoom because I work at a school that has campuses all over Australia.
How interesting.
So I have kids that will book a session with me and Zoom in.
Mm.
But it's completely different doing it with kids and doing it with adults.
Oh, wow. Okay. Why?
I find it a lot easier to do it with the kids. Not as, I don't know. I think it's just, for me, I feel that adults are more judgmental than kids.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's just something with me. Like, I'm a stress head like that.
It's good insight over young minds. They are very, it's more about them than it is about you. So
yeah, it is.
yeah,
It is.
so that takes a bit of pressure off you as well. Lockie wants to say something. Lockie, what do you want to share?
Okay.
This is for Katie.
Yep.
Would you rather do a role play like that live in front of everyone, or record it at home and have to do like 3 or 4 takes? Is that
No. So
Huh?
like doing it tonight is great because you only have to do one.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Like Chelsea and I have done a couple together and that was so stressful. You know?
Do you find you learn? I find I learn better doing it live like this. Do you find that or not? Finding it,
As
otherwise
hard
you
as
can
it
just press
was
stop
tonight.
and then go back and get it correct.
Yeah. So as hard as it was tonight and as stressful as it was, I enjoyed it more doing it this way than what I did doing it the other way and doing them via Zoom with people. Because then you get that instant feedback from your peers.
Yep.
You know, and that feedback is what is going to make you grow. You know, because you take on that feedback for the next one.
Yeah. I think that's the right way of doing it as well, because you could sit at home and do it, record it 4 times and then send your best one, but you're not going to get that true feedback, are you?
No,
You've got everything ticked off. So you've done really nothing wrong. So that's just my opinion, but yeah.
No, I agree with you very much so.
I haven't done it live before like this, and I think I much prefer it.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah. Then it's over and done with, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be putting my hand up for lives.
Well, you were the first one to say, put me in, because you wanted that accountability.
I did.
To lock yourself in. And when you were doing it, I was thinking, you know, like, you're leaning into this rather than holding back. You're putting in your braveness and you're just going to trust the space and trust your peers, that this is going to be facilitated in a way. So upon reflection, you can see the value of it. I think you're nervous for a few reasons. One, because the spotlight's on you and that doesn't sound like that's your favorite space. And then the other is, it's important to you, Katie.
Absolutely.
And it matters. So I think both of those things are valid, and a lot of us could relate to that as well. But the more you do, the better you get, and you're setting an example. We model things when others see that. There's other people sitting in our class tonight who are thinking, is that all there is to a role play? Or I could never see myself do that as well. So I think it's, I think we're paving the way. The 4 of you have really put that out there as well. So I want to say thank you for doing that, because you've given something back to your peers. But I want everyone to come back on camera, if I can, please. If you haven't all been soothed off to sleep as well. And I want to hear from you. I want to get some peer feedback on, think about it. It could be your perspective. I could see myself there in the chair having that conversation. I want you to approach your peer review as what you think went well, and what you would take away from that for yourself. That's the lens that I want you to have over this. Not looking for what you think you'd like them to do differently. I think everybody's been able to do the self-reflection, and they'll have time to process that, and I'll give them my evidence feedback, all four. But for this one, a peer review is what went well and what would you take away from that? What was an unexpected learning for you as well? So could I start with Diana?
Hi.
Hey.
I think it's good for, I mean, I'm one of those people that's very afraid of doing this. I find what I took away from it is both good and bad. I love the professionalism. So even though it's role play, all of my peers have put such a professional front forward, which gives me hope that I can do that. But at the same time, scares me terribly that I'll never actually live up to that. Does that make sense? So it's kind of a double-edged sword for me.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's a really honest self-reflection in there as well, Diana. So thank you for that. Cherry.
Sorry. I'm a bit confused about the question now because now I'm thinking about what Diana said about bringing. You said that was self-reflection. So
Yeah,
you
do you
want
want me
us
to circle back to you? Do you want time to think?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, thanks.
yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot at all. So what we're doing is we're having a look at this of what you think they did well and what your takeaway might be. So that does kind of mean that it is, wow, it's an unexpected learning or something I discovered that I had that moment. Leela, could I ask you to share what went well and what you took away from this for yourself?
For me, basically, it was more like being in a sort of a situation where I could see the professionalism of it, like being in a scenario where, okay, I have to help someone, cross that burden of, how do I help them out in that situation? So, which gave me a good insight in how to deal with this sort of role plays, because I'm not really, I haven't done one as yet because I only started 2 weeks ago. So this was sort of a good guidance of how I should do my role plays. But like I said, I always sort of have to deal with my sort of things with HR, and I'm always dealing with people, and I have to listen and, give my sort of version of, don't say this, you have to be like this, or you might offend someone, you might, discriminate them. So it sort of gave me a little bit of things that I maybe can put in my role plays to sort of convey my sort of message through it in a way that could help me. I don't know.
That's really interesting too, because you work within very definite guidelines.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And this is a little more free form, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it is.
I jumped out of a PD today where it was how to create a neuro-affirmative culture in the workplace,
Yeah.
which is essential, but it's everything that everyone was doing tonight. It's strength-based, it's active
Yep.
listening, non-judgmental.
Correct.
It's all of that. So if 1 in 5 is a neurodivergent, then 20% of our class tonight is sitting in that space as well. That you're learning that as a youth worker in your approach. So adding that will build bridges for you in your other role, and you'll take some of what you got tonight and build that into your day. You'll take some of your day and build that over into your change when you move over into this sector.
Yeah, because it's a different sort of, like I said, sort of career path.
It is.
You got to be very specific. You got to be sensitive. You got to do this. You can't say that because you could get sued and all. What comes with it. So more you have to sort of listen, get guidance, legal advice, how to sort of approach different situations, because I've dealt with a lot of situations that could discriminate people. How to deal with that, and sort of this sort of thing. Sort of made me think of my HR role, how I can implement in this sort of kind of new career path, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. That's great. I'm glad you could see where that was too. We'd wear different hats, so we have
Yeah,
different
correct. Yeah.
lenses. Yeah, that's great. And it's about the appropriate and relevant conversation in each situation with our
Yep.
clients. So that's great. Thanks so much for that.
Thank you.
Melinda, what do you think well, and what would you take away from this?
Hi. So I've never done youth work before. It's all new to me. So this is my first one.
Yeah.
I'm quite amazed. I hope to see myself doing that in the future. I'd like to do that in the future.
Wonderful.
I'm not sure what to say.
What did you really stood out for you tonight? What would you take away from that? What you were watching these 4 people take the scenario instruction and interpret it their way, how they'd like to be spoken to, or how they'd like to work with someone.
It was very polite. The way they spoke to one another, they like all gave each other space to speak. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's great.
Yeah, no, I don't know what else to
Thank
put.
you.
That's all right.
Thank you. That's great feedback. Cherry, are you comfortable if I circle back to you?
Yeah.
Great.
That was great, Melinda. Well done.
Yes.
It's scary being on here. So I was just going to say, with the feedback with Hugh and Katie, like when I was first listening to Katie, it was like she seemed upbeat, sort of, no, not upbeat, I don't know what the word is, bright, like really open to listening to everything she was going to say. And I thought, wow, that's a really like good approach, really giving lots of feedback and making sure she was clear of what the person was saying. But then when I listened to Hugh, I was like, with that calming tone and soft and mellow, it still had exactly the same impact to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
it can all
So
be different.
you could do it differently and still be effective in that space. So that's one of the things that we don't have to be Hugh or Chelsea or Katie or Virginia. We can take ourselves into that space. So our intention is what comes through the strongest, that we've put ourselves in that space to be able to provide non-judgmental, unconditional, positive regard for our clients and acknowledge what they're going through and be helpful giving that conversation over for them to process and think about it. So 4 different people all doing CHCDFV001, different stories, some were the same stories, different style, all effective. So that is reassuring, I hope, for everyone, is that you can take you into that space. Your style will fit because you just saw 4 different styles fit as well. And it was all effective. That positive reinforcement, you like that from Katie, and then you like that regulated, calm space from Hugh as well. And that you recognize the strength in both of those approaches. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So would you do anything differently? What would be your takeaway?
Differently. No, I think with when Hugh said about right at the beginning, confidentiality, you know, when they mention, but I may need to say it if you do harm, and if you're going to talk about harming yourself and things. Whereas Hugh didn't say that. He just said, I think he just said, I'm taking notes and this is confidential. And to me, that just sounded so much better. But I feel like, what are we meant to say?
Well, we ask for informed consent. It's one of those questions where we need to have a closed question. So it's like, So I just want to let you know that anything you say here is private and confidential, and the only time that I would share anything at all would be around safety for yourself, and also if someone was making you feel unsafe. I would need to share that information, likely with my line manager, but I would let you know that that's what I'm doing. Would that be okay with you? And I have to get the yes, or I haven't got consent to continue.
All right, so we really do need to say all of that.
We really do. However, when we're here in a live one, I always refer back to other work that you've done. The note taking was another layer in there, so I got that. And in 15 minutes, that does not duplicate the 45 minutes that we have. So I would be confident that you would bring that in at some stage. So the reason I'm writing these notes is, one, because of my memory, and I want to make sure that I've got this written down and that I've got your best contact details, and to also let you know that when I spoke about the privacy and confidentiality, that there's nothing about you without you, and the only time I would share any of this information, even these notes nobody else is reading, and he did say that, would be if there was a risk to your safety or safety of others. And do I have your consent to go forward? So he started with it, and I believe that given time, we would circle back to that. If not, if that was an uploaded recording, I would just write that as a tip underneath it, and I'd go, in future, try and weave in and get that consent a yes. As well. But that's about honing skills. Very hard to do a 45-minute session in 15 and tick all those boxes, but it is a requirement. Informed consent, and it's each and every time. So even Katie said, well, like we always do, it didn't matter that she sees somebody every week and has seen them for 10 years. We still have to check that that is okay, because when it goes wrong, always plan for it going wrong, and do that preventative work. When it does go wrong, they'll say, they never told me that they were going to share that information.
Yeah. Okay,
And
thank you.
You have to convince the magistrate that that is your protocol.
Yeah, right.
Do that each and every time. And then the magistrate's going to go, well, based on how you presented, how you've answered this, on the grounds that and the information I have before me, I would be believing Sherry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it will come down to that. So because the only two people there are you and your client, and you need to do that to cover yourself. I do this every time. Someone will believe you. And if someone said to you, you never told me you were going to share that, lean into that straight away and say, look, I'm terribly sorry. I do say it each and every time, but I want to let you know it's only about your safety, and you're going to be part of that. So I'm going to say to you, Diana, I'm going to talk to my line manager, because I need to make sure we've got the right support around you. Come at it for them, not against them. Okay, thank you. It's a good question. Thanks so much. I've asked Sherry and Diana, and we've had Zainab. We haven't heard from you. Have you got your voice this week?
Yes, thank God for
Wonderful.
that.
Great. Would you like to
Yeah,
share?
Yeah, I just feel that all four of them demonstrate really great communication skills, even though they have different style, different way of presenting the role play, and very constructive, respectful, and very informative. I'm not sure whether I can, just like Diana said, I'm not sure whether I can do that in this big group.
No.
Because suffer anxiety, this is like really hard for me, even speaking to you right now. But I'll give it a go. I will give it a go. I think, like you said, the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Yes.
And yeah, so I will give it a go for the next one. I'll be
Wonderful.
ready.
Yeah, that's great. Can I reassure you that you are in a safe environment, Zainab? I have very strict boundaries in this class. Those of you who know me know that I will hold that line. I hold that line for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Not for me. This must be a safe and inclusive place for people, for equity and diversity. So I will always facilitate this space to ensure that your rights and your comfort and your safety is absolutely my responsibility in this class. So, and I would like to know that you can see that everybody is supportive, that even when new people come into this class, the circle opens. There's lots of amazing chat going on throughout where people are supporting each other. You're in a good space to do that. Look, everything is easy when we know how, Zainab. Nobody just woke up one day and said, oh, I'm going to rock this role play stuff. You know, nobody does that. And when people realize that their studies, I mean, you're saying I've got to do what? You have got to be kidding. And then I'll see a lot of energy in how can I get out of doing this? So I'll just pump them. And I see them start to build up. And when I say don't open any more new units for that learner because they're leaving their role plays and it's going to be stress if they don't do that, and then we'll try and circle. So you are in a good space around great people to be able to support you.
Yeah, I know I have a couple of people that are in the chat that support me in the kind of a role play. They know how difficult even for me to speak up normally in class. But yeah, I get there one day. I'll get there.
Well done. Good for you.
I think I need to read out what Chelsea wrote in the chat.
Oh, thanks, Lachlan.
I think we all need to keep in mind that we are all new to this and some of us may have never worked in this field. Be kind to yourself. We are all learning. I think that's awesome. So
yeah, that's great. Thanks, Chelsea and Lockie. Caitlin, your hand is up. I want to come up to you.
I just wanted to put my input in. Watching all 3 or 4 role plays, as funny as it sounds, I felt like I was the client and I was just like taking in everything that they were saying. I was just like, yeah, like, and I don't know, for some, like, it sounds weird, but I felt the emotion of being the client when they were talking. And like, I felt like, yes, like they're supporting me. Like, this is why I came here today, even though I wasn't actually playing the client tonight for anybody.
But that's your empathy.
Good, like to be able to feel that.
Yeah.
And then pretty much what I took back is that, again, like we're all learning, like Chelsea said, and that like I'm a overthinker, so I'm a perfectionist, so I think everything's going to be bam, bam, bam. But just seeing the way that you've all done it and like approached it, I was like, maybe I can just sort of step back a little bit and try not to overdo it and everything and just go with the flow like everyone done tonight.
Yeah.
So I think I'm definitely going to try that in upcoming role plays.
No, that's great. And I think Lockie made a good point, like to help Katie debrief, which is what he was doing, to unpack how she was feeling, like to let go of that stress. The either or is really good. Like this could be a good space for me to do that. Or I'll get a practice and I'll try and do that more anonymously, record it and put that up there when several, and you can do that. Any way you choose to do that is fine for you to do that. So just because it looks like that flowed, people prepared and they planned for that, it also wasn't their first role play either. I want to let those of you know who are new that this is becoming a familiar space. But Katie did well, but she still shared, like, I was really nervous about that and found that super stressful. And then unpacking with Lockie the why, what was going on, and trying to think about that. If we do that with each other in peers, we can do that for our clients as well. But it's your empathy for others, Caitlin, that put you in that chair and you felt like you were right there in that space. So that connection is really strong. And that's going to be an amazing strength that you take into that space as a worker.
Yeah, even like you mentioned before, like I will open up an assessment and I think, oh, damn, like 3 parts, 3 role plays, like how am I going to get this done? But just even listening tonight, like I feel confident that I can at least get Diana done. So
Amazing.
and that's just listening to everybody,
Yeah.
being the client and the worker. So hopefully I'll be
Yeah.
able to take back their
Yeah, that's great.
information.
And
there.
I will create space for us to be able to do some more group role play. I know I forget to give you breaks as well. And you guys, you really have to tell me that. If I'm pushing you a little too hard at the moment, I want you to just say, Vicky, we've got to have a break. And we can come back and do a final debrief. And I want to let everyone go at 8:30 if they would like to go at 8:30, or we can push through and you can leave at 8:15. I'm going to leave it up to the class. Those who need to stay back, please stay back. But I will tonight, overnight, be sending the evidence out. I need Chelsea, I need Virginia, I need Hugh, and I need Katie to email me and request the evidence to support this so that you can upload it for yourself. This tonight will cover all 3 role plays for you because we're adding that layer, and I'm going to be doing my debrief for you as well in my written feedback for you. So that's, I guess, the benefit. I don't need you to see everybody jump through 3 hoops when we're doing this live in class. And I want to always create that space if that is something that you would like to do. Okay. Tessa, I just wanted to circle up to you. Sorry. Would you like to give some feedback of what you took from tonight, what you might do differently for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, first I want to say thanks to the 4 of you for giving that role play. It must have been really hard and I'm stressing about it. I'm very ill tech savvy, so I haven't even gotten to see what the role plays are, but this has really helped me to know how I'm going to structure it, because I was, just like, I don't even know really where to start with, the giving the rights and making them comfortable and all of that, and how it would go sort of in order. So yeah, I really commend them on the job that they done. I thought it was a great example of, how the role play is going to go. The things that I've taken from it is pretty much everything. It's sort of helped me to formulate how I'm going to structure my role play, and the key points that I need to remember, the calming tone and things like that, and just giving space to the client to be able to listen and understand their situation and story and what's going on. So it was really, really helpful. And I want to commend Chelsea for, struggling or dealing with those triggers as they were happening, and, having the courage to play that client role. She obviously must have had that in the back of her mind, but as she went through it, as she said, it gave her triggers. So it sort of helped me to remember that that can happen, and how I can look at making sure, if that does happen in my role play, or even, further in life, how I can deal with that. So I thought that was really, really good.
Oh, thanks, Tessa, because I know you're new to the
Mm.
class,
Yeah.
and some of this is a mystery for you. You're right, this is a difficult unit to do,
Mm.
whether we've experienced that through a lived experience or with someone near to us, especially for our male youth workers, because the spotlight is on that space. How do they work with females? We watched tonight a male do that, and the females felt they had a good male role model in that space, that it was calm
Yeah.
and it was safe. And we need more of that as well. Our female clients need that, and so do our male clients who may identify as the person who is the offender in that space as well. So modeling behavior, very important there as well. So And it's nice for me, I just want to say as a facilitator, to not have to break the groups up into genders, which I sometimes have had to do in the past, where sometimes that lived experience can express itself in a survival mode, and it can come out as I have to have a protective zone there. And to do that, I've had to separate the male youth workers and the female youth workers in this space to make sure it's safe for everybody until I feel that people are letting go of their story, because there is room for lived experience, but not if it re-injures us when we're in that space. And we've got to be mindful, what do we bring into that space? And that's where our trauma-informed practices come in.
Yeah.
Some of you requested that I send out some trauma-informed tips for you by email. If you didn't ask me, then please send me an email. I'm happy to send you a whole list of tips that I did over a 3-day weekend with some of the best people that there are in Australia around trauma-informed practices. So please email me. I'm happy to share that information with you as well. So I'm going to give the 4 of you, because you've here's the flip side, you've only done one client, so I do need to get a written self-reflection to add to that as well. I'm going to send it to you in the email when you request. You're going to send it back to me, and then I'm going to send out your evidence. And the questions that I'm going to ask you are, what signs of disclosure were you looking for in this particular client? How did you ensure the safety of the client? What did you do? You're getting feedback. If you aren't sure, you just received that feedback from your peers. What was your immediate response, and how did that impact you? And I think this is a good self-reflection space. Did cultural, social, or age come into any of that and influence you as well? Did that come into your space? Were you aware of that and just kept moving forward? Was there a difference there around gender or socioeconomic group? And then what support and referrals? I heard, oh, could I have referred them over to the GP? That was great. That's what I'll be looking for. I just have a couple of things which will cover all 3 of the client's nuances that I would be looking for from you. So it's almost 8:15. Is there anything anyone else would like to say? Because at 8:15, I'm going to let the class go, and I want to just have a quick break for those who need to stretch their legs. Then I want to be here for anybody in the class that would like to unpack or discuss anything else that they would like to, whether they're booking role plays or whether they've got a question about something. If I can assist you, then that's what I would like to do. Okay. Lockie.
I believe this will be my last class tonight, so I just want to thank everyone, and yeah, all the best with everyone, and you'll kill it. So yeah, I've got a bit more study to do, but yeah, this is my last class tonight. So yeah, thank you, Vicky, and thank you everyone else. And all the best.
Yeah,
Thanks,
great.
Lockie.
Thanks so much.
All the
Lockie.
best.
Oh my
Thanks,
goodness, what am I going to do without Lockie? Oh God,
So good.
I'll have to pick on Katie now.
That's
Look,
absolutely fine. I don't mind if you pick on me.
Yeah,
All the
that's
best,
great.
Lockie. Well done.
Yeah, I hope you got amazing things out of the class, Lockie. I know you've definitely contributed to the class culture as well. So I want to say thanks so much for that. And I'll still be working with you. I know we've got sessions that we're going to catch up with outside of class as well. So yeah, terrific. Thank you. All right, so those of you who need to step away, this is hard going, and I have not stopped you. I've just pushed you through that. So please step out for the night, shake it off, take your life back, have some food, hydrate, Go and sit with the people that love you, or the ones that say they love you. Go and binge watch something, if that's what you need to do. Some nice self-care, and then I'll be back in at 8:15, and I'm here to be able to support anybody that needs that support tonight. Okay, let's take 5 minutes. Come back if you would like to. Otherwise, you've got my email. You can reach out to me in between, and I'll come back into this space for everybody. Okay, so
Thank you.
I'll jump out and I'll be back in 5 minutes, but I'm not kicking you guys out. I will stop recording though. I just wanted to step off. We've done our role plays tonight in real time, and I promised that we were going to record this. I stopped the recording when we were having just our own class discussion, things that I wouldn't normally send out to the wider community. So a class does get the recording, but so does everybody get the recording who cannot attend class in real time. And I want to make sure that it's relevant for our wider audience. What I did tonight was we had 4 learners who did their role play, and they selected 1 client. For this unit though, if you're not doing your role play in real time, we ended up doing 4 rather than the 3 that is required. What it is that I assess somebody on for this unit is I wanted to walk you through that. And I have sent this out also for our learners to be able to have a think about what they did tonight, some self-reflection, and I've sent them an email with a different document to make sure that we've got those nuances that we're going to ask of you. You're going to do 3 separate role plays, and you're going to do 1 for Diana, 1 for Priyanka, and 1 for Oliver. So tonight we covered Diana and Priyanka in the choices that people made, and that's fine. The things that I assess you on, and I wanted to give you what my observation checklist was while they were doing that work. So the unit being CHCDFV001. This is my observation checklist when I'm working in real time as well. So I just wanted to show you what it is that I'm looking for to hopefully give you some more confidence, not to get too stressed about it. But we did debrief as well, and we shared that. And I made sure that we had some peer review, which is more valuable, I think, than even what I am going to give feedback. So, but I wanted to share where I come from with this. So I was able to tick all the boxes for our 4 learners tonight. So they identified what indicators and disclosures of domestic family violence. They shared their story, applies trauma-informed, person-centered language and approach, that it was safe. They did. Describes actions taken to ensure safety of the client and others around them if relevant. So I heard the privacy, the confidentiality, and then we unpacked a little bit more about getting in consent once we are leaving our client, that we have our hypothetical client informed. Demonstrated appropriate use of the responses and procedures, including the writing down of the reporting. If there were children, then of course there would likely be some reporting, some mandatory reporting, because it is about safety. Acknowledging the age and pitch to someone's age, their culture, their gender, or any other factors, and those differing abilities that we have, to ensure that we are very diverse when we're working with our clients, that we have equity and that we are inclusive. So you'll hear me talk about DEI throughout your qualification as well. That acronym stands for diversity, equity, and inclusivity. Referring to appropriate support services, we talked about GPs and other emergency contacts. I heard 1-800-RESPECT. That's a free call 24/7. Find out about what resources, what's available in your local area, and raise that. Role play land, you're the one who says where those referrals are if you're going to, but don't overwhelm them, and meet your client wherever they're up to at the moment. explain how professional boundaries were maintained, and we did that in the debrief. And with the class, they helped me do that debrief with peer review, which was brilliant. Maintain ethical and your legal responsibilities. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Don't give people false hope in that space. Just reflect. Make sure that you're in a calm, centered space as well, and reflect appropriately on practice and identifiers over what would be areas for improvement, what you did well, and what you might do differently. And that's what I've sent out in the email for people to do that. And then some of the questions that I prompted with, but a lot of them the class actually did. I was looking for how did our learners maintain the client's dignity and rights during the response. I want our learners to reflect, but you had some great questions that you put forward. And you'll notice here that these are all open-ended questions. So the what's and the how. So the who, what, how, when, where, and why, they're your open-ended questions. If you want a yes or a no answer, then we use closed questions like, would it be okay with you if we continue, knowing that I've just let you know that I would only share this information if there was a safety or a risk around you or around others? Would that be okay? Now, that can be a yes response, and that means you've got consent and verbal consent is given. It could be a no, I'm not comfortable with that. Then we put in our professional boundaries and we let them know they are in full control of how much they share in that space. We work with whatever it is within the range and the scope of what our clients allow us to do. And then we also need to give them that dignity of risk around building over a period of time some trust with us. That may not happen in a 15-minute role play. It's very unlikely, but I did hear that tonight. In that 15 minutes, I definitely got that connection, and some people felt that it was very authentic in that space. And I'm also really mindful that we have people with a lived experience who want to do this work in the sector as well. So we need to be reflective of our own, how do we respond? How am I looking after myself? How am I making sure it's a non-judgmental space for my client so that we're not re-injuring by them telling their story or being triggered because it's a story that comes to life when we bring it closer back into that space as well. But many of our great workers are workers that have a lived experience. We can be impacted by a story, even if it has never happened to us, and that can be vicarious trauma. So we need to be trauma informed for ourselves, for our peers and our colleagues, and for our clients as well. So then I just sign off on that and I send that back out to the learners as well. So I want to show you that document so that you know what it is that I'm marking on. And I also wanted to show you in our assessor portal as well. It is in my recording of the full unit. So please make sure that you've spoken to your learner support officers to get a copy of that recording. Let me just open this space up for us a little bit more. So here you'll see the marking guide. So this is for the role play, and your instructions that sit around Diana, Priyanka, and for Oliver. When you go into task 3, so there's 3 assessment tasks. So this is T standing for task T3 of 3 that there are. And of course, that just says role play for you to do. And it's got 7 steps. So your task instructions, this is where you will find the instructions for the person that's going to play the client for you, Diana or Priyanka or Oliver. It says the role play should not take more than 10 to 12 minutes. I like to give people 15, but everyone came in on time tonight, and that's good. This takes a little bit to kind of like introduce yourself as well. And we give you the scenario of each of those people. When it says, I want you to fill in a document, know here that you've got, she does not want to see a family doctor. We heard that. This is your preparation and planning. It also says where the location is for that, and the doctor, the GP that you want to refer them to is well known to First Access and understands the complex needs of the client. So we build those relationships. I know which doctors to refer one of my clients to for mental health, who to refer them to for AOD, who's great with young people. I know the right doctor and I look for the ones who bulk bill as well. We even have an Indigenous Wellbeing Centre. Anyone can go to that centre, but I know that they are highly skilled and trained in working with First Nation and Torres Strait Island people, and the majority of their team are First Nation as well. So it is safe, supported environment, making sure that it's culturally accessible for people in that space. So there are instructions in that space as well. And I just wanted to, that's told me that I'm being kicked out of this space and to log back in again. Well, that's not much fun, is it? So let's see if it'll let me come in through another door. It will. So just want to tell everyone what you just saw on the screen then says I am officially a super user. So I want to, that'll be my wait list there of everybody wanting to get their assessments done. And this is the space that I come into where I want to be able to get that information for a assessment. So yours will look different to ours, but I did want to bring you in and show you. So you have task 1 of 3, which is your written questions, multiple choices and some short answers in your quiz. Then you have task 2, which is your research around domestic family violence. And you've got a research report to do as well. You've got your role play, which we saw happen tonight. And here you have the assessor's official observation list. So in here, I'm going to show you a preview. And it's still the task 3, but you'll notice it's 3B. So you may or may not see that in your porthole, but there are 27 questions that I need to respond to. So you may only get 1 or 2 feedback comments from me. Know that behind the scenes, if I'm assessing, I will try and put a summary of where I think your work is. Unless it's a question that I need you to try again with, I'll try and say, this is what we're looking for here. And I can open up more attempts for you. You get 3, but you can have 20 if that's what you need. It would bother me though, so it takes me to open up another one, and the LSOs will say they've used their 3 attempts. Can you have a look? I'll always go in and have a look as, is the feedback we're giving you clear enough? And maybe if I jump in and say it in a different way, it might help someone better understand. Or if I can see that it's not getting traction, I might find your email and I'll send you an email and say, I can see you're stuck on this one. I just wanted to give you some guidance around what I think they're looking for. Or the feedback on the 3rd attempt is, that's it, I've got it, but you need to have more attempts open up. So I'm the one that opens those up for everyone, and to give people more attempts in that space. There's absolutely no penalty whatsoever for having extra. attempts in that space. But the first 5, I wanted to show you this area rather than the full 27, but I wanted to show you, and this is just around Diane. And of course, we had Diane twice in tonight's role play with our recording. But the first thing it says, did I observe the learner identify the client's needs? And I did. That was motivational interviewing, intentional questioning. They were able to get the client to share what their needs were. The second one is, did they build rapport with the client using effective communication techniques? Most of you gave that feedback, and we know that each were different, each were effective. Question number 3 says, did our learners explain confidentiality and the rights and responsibilities of the client and the worker? We spoke about that. Everybody did talk about the privacy and the confidentiality. And then we unpacked what would that look like, and do we have consent to progress? Number 4 is, did I observe the learner explain organisational policies and procedures relevant to developing a safety plan and providing appropriate support? So within the scope of your role, everybody did that. And then number 5 is, did I observe the learners verbally validate the client's comments and responses and show empathy and respect? Everybody use that strength-based approach, that trauma-informed practice around how they approached it. Everyone had a different style, and of course, no 2 workers are going to be the same as well. There's 27, like I said, but what I want you to keep in mind is even the first 5 questions, it's not Diana's story. It's still about whether you're using those micro skills. That's what we're assessing you on. So when you relax into that, every single role play is exactly the same. It's your micro skills. So your written work is your knowledge, and then we get you to do your role plays to apply your knowledge over into working with a client who has a similar story, that scenario, and we want your skills, those sector skills, to that standard. And of course, it continues during the role play. Did I observe the learner? This one's for Oliver. Ask appropriate questions. And complete the counselling plan accurately for Oliver. And that could be your supporting documents as well. So there are other documents that go, it's not only skills. So just go through your instructions. It will guide you as well. And there's no overview or instructions at the beginning. For us, it just goes straight into Diane, goes into Priyanka, and goes into Oliver, the 3. And I gave everyone a link tonight of the Oliver scenario. If you're not doing it live in class like the 4 did tonight, then they've demonstrated that for you, and you will do all 3 client scenarios as well. Just make sure that when you step into that space, and I know I jokingly say to people that please dress accordingly. If you're going to be a youth worker, then dress like you're a youth worker in that space, and make sure that your background is something that you would turn up. So if you're working from home, like I do as well, I have my Hader background. I just want to show you a couple. You can go into Google, save a picture, and save it and share it as your background here. The next unit that you're doing around community development, I start off with this background because we're going to collaborate with stakeholders. So behind me, I have a round desk, which I kind of thought that would be a great environment for everybody to be talking, no head of the table. You might find another background that you use in a virtual setting. That's the one that I chose. When I'm working, with my other background, this is very much like what my own clinic looks like. I have a private clinic where I see clients. This is very similar to mine. And I The only thing is that I have amenities. So I have toilets, I have a car park, my home is zoned to be running a business from as well. And so that it's private and confidential, and it's safe and it's secure as well. So I need to describe the environment that I'm in when my clients, so I will often just say, look, I've got 2 chairs, I've got window for ventilation over here, I have amenities so people can use bathroom if they need to, I have music in my clinic, and as you walk in on the left hand side, I have brochures from other service providers and stakeholders. We have our 2 chairs, we've got a table in front of us, I've got ambient water, and as a neurodivergent, lots of fidgets and cool things in my space, depending on our clients that we're working with. So give us some thought. If you just have a spot at home where you're recording and it's a blank wall, 100%, that's amazing. Just describe the room that you're in. But if you just say, you know what, I want to make sure that I've got space for a family. I want to set my environment up where they're coming in and there's more than one person. And then I've got a lounge. But I like people to pick where they're going to sit as well. You might be doing a home visit, and so you make it look like it's a residential space. That makes sense. But if you are filming in your own home, make sure that you've got de-identifying photos. Don't have family photos, don't have wedding photos in the background, don't have any religious paraphernalia. It may be important to you, but as a worker, we are non-sectorial, non-religious, non-political. We can have our own personal views, but when we're in this space, we are fully present, and we make sure that we are looking after our diverse group and that there's fairness and equity in that space as well. So play with your background, whatever feels really comfortable. Someone did theirs outdoors, and I loved that. But then they did their part 2. So I could say, oh, I'm in the cane fields in Queensland, but I'm sitting in a Zen garden because my client felt more comfortable outside, outdoors. They felt a little hemmed in. Little claustrophobic, but we're very private where we are. Just describe the space that you're in, set the scene, a simulated workplace environment, and please present ready for work. And watch your recording back, check your visual and your sound. And if you're not sure what looks like it's supposed to look like, then make sure that you go into and look the Discord and look at all of those apps and resources. Cheyenne has done some, I've done some, and some of them are live info sessions on role plays, but there's a whole stack of learners that turn up for that as well, and I answer questions. I usually do those once a month. We haven't done any for a little while because we have built a lot more resources and we've got them available for you. But I think a couple of times a year, I'm happy doing info sessions. Now all the trainers try and provide an opportunity to do role plays in the last week of classes as well, if you're ready, even if only 1 or 2 people, or like tonight 4 could do that, then you get the opportunity to see somebody do that work. Some of them you require an assessor. I must be there. So you need to tell me when you're ready, because people are starting at a brand new unit and we have rolling starts. You're working at your own pace. I won't know when you're ready. You will let learner support officers know. And I'll just drop the backdrop there again for us, so that I make sure that that email is there. It's fairly neutral, that one. And if you contact Learner Support Officers, so LSO at haiderinstitute.edu.au, and let them know that you're ready to do an assessor-led role play, they'll put you on a register. But if it says that you need 3 other people, go and get those 3 other people. Then we're ready. But if you're one person and we're waiting for 3 other people to be ready to do that exact unit, you will sit on that wait list until other people say that they're ready. We only run them when the numbers are there. So if it says you will do this with 4 others, then we need 5 to run that session. So I understand that you're thinking of your needs, but you're going into a group scenario, and you will play a participant and you will play a worker in those group scenarios. And the assessor is there not to play any role other than to capture that evidence, give you some feedback, and facilitate that to flow. So it's not an assessor's role ever to play the client. They might play a supervisor, where you might do a role play where it's worker to supervisor. There's a couple of qualifications that do that. And there's even a couple of learners who have what we call reasonable adjustment, but that's determined in your enrolment. If you're sharing something, I am neurodivergent, I'd like to share that information. It helps with communication styles to be in a neuroaffirmative space. I create that for classes, and I also create that for my team, but I also need to say what my needs are, and you need to have your voice in this space as well. So if you say, I'm ready to do this role play, and I let LSO know months ago and I'm still waiting, then go and find the people to do that with you. Once the numbers are there, we will run it for you. The assessors are waiting, ready to do that, but we won't do it for one person when it says you need 3. There is part of that is your responsibility as well. If you come to classes and say, hey, can I just say in chat, I'm looking for some people to do that, be part of the WhatsApp group. Or go into Discord and have a look. In some of those units, it's saying, I'm looking for someone to do that. Put it out there and represent yourself as well. Okay, so just keep in mind that it's a very large learner community at HADA, over 2,000 learners, and you're all doing your own studies in your own time at your own pace. And there are a team of 7 trainers who work here and different rosters. And the one thing that is very unique to this RTO, HADA Institute, is that every single trainer is a sector worker. So we all work with clients the same as what you are. So we bring the sector into our classes as well. I've worked with lots of RTOs, so I still work with other RTOs as well. That is not the case in most RTOs. This is a point of difference with you selecting HADA, is knowing that the trainers that you've got are actually in the field every day, and they're bringing that. Absolutely, the currency sits there as well. So, but they'll run classes like we are all colleagues, because that is the space. We want you to be ready, and we want you to be prepared to go into work placement when it's ready, and whenever you are ready. To be able to do these assessor-led role plays, please reach out and let us know. Email Learner Support Officers and email your trainer. So to get hold of me, it's simply use my name, which is Vicky, so lowercase VIKI at haiderinstitute.edu.au. So thanks, everybody. I will wrap up our night. This is just our live class recording. And of course, there is a large one that covers all 3 weeks. And I've done the capsule of all of the slides that went out for you as well, and a couple of other YouTubes that I thought would be really interesting. Next week, we're starting a brand new unit for our Cert 4 in youth work, and I look forward to you joining us in class, or you will get the recording that will go out to you before we come into class next Tuesday. So thanks, everybody. Have a great week.